Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who video for today. So for this Doctor Who video, I've been asked by quite a few Doctor Who fans today, who is the Toymaker? Why should they be excited for the return of this Doctor Who villain that's not been seen in Doctor Who since 1966? What is the big deal with the Toymaker? So I thought, you know what? I'm going to sit here and do a quick video for you all about who is the Toymaker, and hopefully you understand at the end of that video why I'm so excited for tomorrow's episode with the return of the Celestial Toymaker. So let's dive into it. So we have to go all the way back to 1966. So there was a 4-part story, aka called The Celestial Toymaker. And it stars William Hartnell as the First Doctor. We have Peter Purves as Stephen, and we have Jacqueline Hill as Dodo. The Toymaker was played by a fantastic actor known as the most powerful man in the universe, aka Michael Gough. So what can I tell you about the Toymaker? Well, not really much is known about the Toymaker, really, apart from a few lines that the First Doctor has basically said, and I'll get to that at some point. So the Toymaker created this whole world full of puzzles and games. Now, don't forget that the Toymaker does not like to lose. So every time you think he's going to lose, he literally plays tricks on people. And when they do lose, instead of him, now there's 2 consequences. One, if he loses, his whole domain gets destroyed with everybody inside it. Or if he wins, you have to become a puppet to the Toymaker. So over the course of being, apart from the story when we find out that the Toymaker has been kidnapping other beings, making them play his games, and then when they lose, they get turned into toys. So you have some people get turned into clowns, some people turn into king and queens from the cards, like the kings of spades or the queen of spades, something like that. It's been a while since I played cards and I can't remember the rules, sorry. Anyway, so you get turned into toys and figurines and stuff for the Toymaker to basically make you stay there and become part of his toys for a very long time. So during basically one point, the First Doctor, Stephen and Dodo do arrive on this kind of planet created by the Toymaker. Now, the Doctor knows the Toymaker because the Doctor actually stated that the Toymaker is from the same domain, from the same universe as the Doctor. So at this point, none of the Timeless Child stuff was actually known. So there's a lot of theory going out there at the moment that the Toymaker is actually from the domain of the Timeless Child, aka the Doctor. But during the First Doctor's time, the First Doctor has kind of had quite a few battles off screen with the Toymaker. And of course, the one final game with the Toymaker happened in the story, aka Doctor Who the Celestial Toymaker, which basically makes the Doctor pretending to be the Toymaker, disguising his voice as a Toymaker's, and basically playing the last move, which basically makes the Doctor tell Stephen hit the faster switch to make the TIEs dematerialize, just as the Toymaker's home planet gets disintegrated and destroyed. And of course, the Doctor knows it wasn't going to be the end of the Toymaker because he says, "We're going to have a few more battles with the Toymaker. I will at some point." Yes, I will. But unfortunately, it has never happened back on screen. Well, it was going to happen in 1985, and it was going to be broadcast in 1986. A missing story, well, not technically a missing story, a story that was never made because Doctor Who was put on to an 18th month hiatus in 1985. The story would have been called The Nightmare Fair, which would have seen the Doctor and Perry go to Blackpool Pleasure Beach for a holiday. And as of that, the Doctor comes across the Toymaker once again. And doing that, Perry ends up basically having to play the Toymaker's games, while the Toymaker makes the Doctor play the most deadliest game. And if the Toymaker wins, the Doctor and Perry... I don't know nothing about the story, by the way. I just know what I read from Wikipedia. And unfortunately, I haven't got the story on Big Finish. I do need to get it down, and I do know it's on Target Books, so I am trying to track it down. So, and the Doctor does defeat the Toymaker, and that's basically what I know. I know the Toymaker, I think he's made quite a few more appearances in Big Finish. I'm not 100% sure. from what I've been told by a few friends of Big Finish, like some of my friends that have listened to Big Finish and got the whole collection, they're like, oh yeah, he's in The Nightmare Fair, he's in another story, and I can't remember the top of my head what that story's called, which basically leads up to tomorrow's episode with the 14th Doctor, played by David Tennant, is going to encounter the Toymaker again, but this time played by Neil Patrick Harris. Which is actually what I'm quite looking forward to, because it sounds like this is definitely going to be the final game. It could not be, you know, knowing Russell T Davies, or a future showrunner might want to bring back the Toymaker for another battle with some future versions of the Doctor. From what I've seen from a few sneaky peeks, we are going to get a kind of a flashback between the Toymaker and the Doctor, when the Doctor comes face to face with him, and the Toymakers, they're going, ooh, he's trying to recognize me. And from what I've seen, there is going to be some sort of like a flashback sort of scene where you got the Toymaker and the first Doctor, and it looks like it's going to be clips that's been colorized from episode 4 of the Toymaker, which is called The Final Test. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And the Toymaker is obviously going to have a big play in the Doctor's regeneration into the 15th Doctor. So that is basically some of the stuff that I know, basically thanks to leaks and some of my things. I do think the Toymaker is actually going to be basically a big part of the Doctor's regeneration. So that is basically the Toymaker, everything that I technically know from him through Big Finish and from what I know from the missing stories, aka the Celestial Toymaker. So if the Toymaker is basically from a different universe as the Doctor, which we all know that the Doctor is now from the Timeless Child. Thank you, Chris Chibnall, for that. So is there a possibility that basically the Toymaker is from that same domain, that same universe as the Timeless Child, who later becomes the Doctor? We just do not know. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's episode. I cannot wait to watch it and get out my review and basically say what I think of this fantastic episode. We do know we're going to get a classic companion returning and a few old faces returning, like Kate Stewart, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the giggle. I'm really looking forward to seeing the regeneration, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen to Donna Noble. I got a feeling that she might end up biting the dust at some point. I'm hoping she doesn't, but it would be a good way to end her character, I think. It'd be such a shame if basically they were going to bring back her daughter with Shooty Gatwick, because I do know that Yasmin Finney is supposed to be in season 1 or series 14 or whatever you call it, or season 41. So yeah, so I think the Toymaker is going to have big consequences on the Doctor, which does lead into his regeneration. So that is basically the Toymaker, everything that I know from the Celestial Toymaker, Big Finish, even though I haven't listened to it, but thank you to Wikipedia, so I read up all about the story in that one. The Toymaker, at this current time on screen, has been played by 2 actors. One actor played by Michael Gough, who sadly is passed away and deceased, and the other one is Neil Patrick Harris. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing what Neil Patrick Harris is going to have in the role as the Celestial Toymaker, or just the Toymaker. They're probably dropping the Celestial bit. I hope not, because it makes it sound cool, doesn't it? The Celestial Toymaker. It makes it sound so creepy, doesn't it? And that is basically why I'm looking forward to the giggle, and basically why I'm looking forward to the animation of the Toymaker, aka the Celestial Toymaker, for the animation adaptation. So yeah, that is everything I know. I hope this video does help my friends out about who is the Toymaker and a little bit of his past. Let me know in the comments, what is your theory for tomorrow's episode? Do you think that the Toymaker makes Donna bite the dust? Or do you think he's the cause of the 14th Doctor's regeneration? Or do you think it's going to be a big, massive thing full of surprise for us fans to sit down and enjoy? Let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. And hopefully we do not get pulled into the domain of the Toymaker.